Before I get into the video, I want to show you guys, if you go to my channel right next to the subscribe button, you'll see join. If you join the channel, you'll get a Discord link in the community tab. So if you scroll down, you'll get the link. So I'll just type Gladius test 3, and this is what my Gladius looks like. And you guys can just import that if you want to. So for the cast bar, sometimes people will want like to be able to see it. Like if it's casting, it'll be invisible all the way up to the end. Some people like that background, so if you want to increase the background, you can, but I feel like I don't want that. Okay, so in order to import it, just go to layout and then import layout, and yeah, that'll be in the description for you guys. BetterBlizzFrames, it's a really strong add-on. So /BBF, and we'll see this option panel. These are my settings. So what I initially did was I copied Naj profile, and then I took months and months and months to make it kind of my own. And this is also available to import. So you just go to import and then import the string right there. So if you want to add like a buff or a spell, you can go down to print spell ID and then just hover it over it. You can see the spell ID in the chat. So that's how you do the buffs and stuff. So you can add the enlarge aura. And if you want to change the color, just instead of left clicking, you right click and you can change this to any color. It's really nice, and it has a nice glow to it too. So also, if you want to change your combo points from here to on the frame right here, you can do that in the miscellaneous section, and just check this box and use that for all of these classes. There's a lot of settings in here, and you can just kind of go through these settings and change them how you want to over time. But if you want like a good baseline, you can just import this if you want to. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is Diminish, because it goes along with the frames here and also the arena frames as well. So options, add-ons, and Diminish. So for me, I like having the DR tracker right next to the nameplates, so it's like super consistent. And then I also use it for the arena frames as well. So it's really nice. Toggle the test mode. You can see it's super nice, consistent. So if you want to change the icon, you can just right click. If I go cyclone, which is not the right thing for in-cap, but you can see the icon, it comes up. But if I go gouge, the icon won't come up. So what you have to do is put the spell ID into there if you want to do it for a separate, like a different class. If you go down to these tabs, you can change, like if I wanted to put more DRs on my target, I can. So I just go stuns and disorient for the target, and then for the focus, it's just, okay, it's stuns and disorients as well. But you can put like roots, like if you're playing Boomkin, you might want to put root on that focus targets. You can see the nameplate has DR tracker right next to BigDebuffs, so it's really useful for knowing when people are off of DR. If you want to just use the Gladius DR, I do have it set up so it's available. You know, if you guys just want to use that, that's fine too. I have a lot of questions about some of my WeakAuras, so we'll go through those, and I'll put links in the description as well. Arena friendly marker, so you can see right here, that's what it looks like, and it's really helpful for me to see my teammates. Another one that people ask me about is the Dragonflight WeakAura pack from Mez, and it shows you like if you're not standing in like a shaman totem or a priest dome, it'll make noise, so you know like that's your teammate and not the enemy. Very useful for me. And it will make noise for like all of the cooldowns and kidney shot and all these really good stuff. So this one is just healer and CC, very useful. Okay, so my graphics settings are just the render scale, 91%. For me, it makes it actually look better. and it's more smooth if it's at 91. Some people even go to 81%. So you can do that if you want to. I like 91%. It looks good to me. And these are just my settings. I use the UI scale at 77%, and I guess that's kind of important if you want to copy Plater. So just Plater nameplates. I've worked for over a year to kind of hone this over time. These are the settings that I came up with in the end. If you want to import the profile, it's just you can go to the profile tab and import the profile. If you guys have any questions on this, if you have some like personal preference and you can't figure it out, let me know in the comments. I'll try to figure that out and get back to you. I have a stun DR right here, and if they trinket, it'll be on this side. So for the trinkets, I'll go into the trinket next, nameplate cooldowns. So I only use this for the trinkets. So you go to spells, select spells. So yeah, you just go through here and you select all the trinkets and the racials that get people out of CC. That's pretty much it. I'll go through these settings if you guys want to see these as well. And you can just see what I did right there. So if the target trinkets, it'll come up right here. So I'll go into BigDebuffs. I pretty much have everything baseline except for the priority. These are my priorities here. And for the spells, I went down to crowd control and cheap shot. I did a custom priority 95, kidney shot priority 95. But also if you go into Plater, you can add buff tracking and you can add people's buffs. So for me, sometimes the enemy will cast evasion and then someone will put an immunity on top of it and I can't see the evasion. So I added an evasion on the buff. So it'll pop up right here. And then if you want to add a buff alert, you can go into the scripting and then change the glow color. I added these to the glow. I could add Icebound Fortitude as well. And now it will glow. So I know I can't stun into any of this stuff, or like sometimes I couldn't see alter time unless I looked right here. So you could either do this or you could just like look right here for that. If you want to delete that, that's fine too. Okay, so for OmniCD, it's good for tracking your teammates. So if you want to change stuff, you can go into the spells, and if you want to see something that is not there, you can add it right here. So for the extra bar, you can go here and unlock the frame. So you can change it to wherever your raid frame is. So for the extra frame, it's just tracking the group's CDs only. So you can know, like, my teammate's about to have damage. I can save this DR for like 5 seconds until they have damage. All right, so OmniBar, just another thing you can import. So my OmniBar is like this. This is my final version. I've messed around with this quite a bit. And I recently changed my action bars to be able to do this. And the kicks are right next to my cast bar. So like if I'm juking, I can see somebody try to kick me like just right there. Really, really nice. I got offensives and then CC here, and then defensives right over there. And I'll put in another profile for you guys. So this is my other profile. It's just everything down here, and you can increase the size if you want to. So for my action bars, I am using Bartender. Unfortunately, there's not an import string for this, but I guess your bars are really personal preference, and you guys can see everything I have. I have some stuff up here that's invisible that I don't ever really want to look at, like my targeting macros for my MMO mouse. So here it's just XCT plus. Let me see. This is not something I can export, so I'll show you guys my settings real quick. So I'll just go through here and I'll show you what is enabled. So general, not enabled. Outgoing, yes. Outgoing crit, no, but the secondary frame is going to the outgoing. So the crits and the non-crits are going to the outgoing. Incoming, no. And then this one, no. Class power, no. Special effects, no. And loot, no. So I'm just having my damage and my crits going into one frame. So I'll test that. And then I'll press move and you can see where I have it right there. And that's pretty much it. And then I'll go into these settings. You guys can just kind of look at the settings here and see what's different for you guys. Spam merger. Have that. Okay, filters. I'm doing outgoing. 200,000. You can go up even more if you want to only see big numbers like 1,000,000. That's cool too. Put like 1,000,000 damage and make it huge on your screen if you wanted to. I like being able to see a lot of my abilities and what they're doing. So okay, so it's a little weird on this add-on. So the justification under the fonts is what changes the icon location. So if you want it on the left, you justify to the left or whatever. But yeah, my icons are on the right. I want them on the right. So okay, so for my cast bar, it's just quartz, and you can kind of mess around with this stuff. I used quartz for my focus for a long time, but I wanted the focus to be consistent with the rest of my UI. Let's see, is somebody casting? Look, there's Peekaboo. Okay, so it's Fuchsia as well as the nameplate. Okay. So that's why I don't use quartz, because it's consistent with the nameplate. So if it's Fuchsia, it means I don't have the kick ready. And then the nameplate will go like light blue if it's gonna be ready before the cast ends on the nameplate. But yeah, that's why I stopped using quartz on the focus. It's just on the bottom right here for Leatrix Plus and maps, but mostly Plus for the volume slider. You can slide the volume. A really big one for me is the hide portrait numbers. So instead of having portrait numbers, like the healing and damage done to your portrait was really annoying to me. It'll take that away, and you can actually see like if you have cooldowns going, like say I have this, you can actually see your cooldowns going on, and like you can actually see BigDebuffs and stuff like that. Okay, so there's an add-on called OmniCC, and what it does is changes the numbers on your UI, so you can have all these different types of rules and stuff. So you can see the default one is bigger than the Bartender one. I wanted smaller numbers on Bartender. So in order to do that, I just added a theme, called it Bartender, put in my settings, go to rules, added a rule called Bartender, and then the pattern is BT4. And that'll change these numbers separately from the rest of your UI. And there's a lot of other things that I did, but basically everything is just default right now. And then the Gladius has its own internal numbers. So that's how I do the numbers. You can change it, the color, you can change it to red, you can change any font. And if you want a specific part of your UI, you go frame stack. And you just hover over your UI and see kind of what is going on. So I take a screenshot, I save it, and then I read and see what I should type for the pattern. It takes a lot of effort to try to figure that out sometimes. So like the Bartender one is you can see down, it's BT4 button 68 or whatever. So I tried just BT4 and it worked. Okay, so to get out of that, you just have to type /frame stack, one word, and then that's how you get out. Okay, so another mention is just details. Okay, I can export my details. So if you guys want to just use this one, that's cool. Okay, so another add-on people ask me about is how to get these darker windows. So I go to color control on FrameColor add-on, and I just hit the big red button on a darker setting. You can go all the way black if you want to. I kind of like the gray setting. So in BetterBlizzFrames, I also have the darkness here. So I think this one is the one that's actually doing stuff. But yeah, you can either do that or FrameColor for the border. Something real nice is, let's see, Plumber. So Plumber is really good for the talking head. That talking head was really, really annoying to me. So if you enable this and then you go to edit mode, it gives you this really nice, clean looking thing. BattlegroundEnemies, really, really good. It's gonna have their DRs, their cooldowns and stuff, their trinkets, and you can just click to target and then right click to focus. And you'll also see how many people are targeting that specific person. So it's really, really strong in BGs. Okay, so Wago has an app. It's kind of like CurseForge. And here, if you go Reflex, you can get Reflex. And what this is just a history of your games. So you can see your record. You can press shift when you're going over it, and you can see like who you fought against and stuff like that. I got, so one more thing is an add-on called FrameSort. It's really, really nice. I always have myself on top, and you guys can mess around with that. So it makes everything super consistent every single time you play. But yeah, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments and I'll get back to you guys on that. But yeah, that's all I have for you. Have a good one.